खुरुमजरी येंबिरिबो पुनमकु शरचंद्र शर्मा इम्पैक्ट न्यूज की मनung हुना तराम नोकचरी ngasi manung हुना खना गदुरि वाफम से IAS 2000 की केदरनी IAS RK दिनेशपु RIMS की ऑफिशिएटिंग डायरेक्टर होइना हापलाबा मतुंगदा मयामदगी थोकलाइबा मरोइना RIMS की सीनियर डॉक्टर सिंगी मरक्तगी अमसुंग लेरिबा लमदम सिगी क्रिटिक्स कियागी माइकेदगी थोकलाइबा वाफम से IAS ऑफिसर अमबो अखोगी डायरेक्टर होइना हापकपसी मसी याय यादे MCI की रूलदा मसी यावी याउदी हाइबगी मतांगदुदा खननबगी तंजानी लोना नंगसी खनननबसिता लेंबिरकलिबे गेस्ट संगे म्यांग सक ताक सके आइगे इथंग थंग भंबिरिबसी एस कुंजबिहारी रिटायर्ड IAS ऑफिसर ने ओजा कुंजबिहारी तारमोक्सरी अदुगा ओजा कुंजबिहारी की ओइदा लिंजन बिरिबसी प्रदीप फांजोबोम ने एडिटर इम्फाल प्रिपरेशन ताउं प्रदीप तारमोक्सरी अदुगा आइगे हेक येत भंबिरिबसी पू एल फिमाते फॉर्मर डायरेक्टर RIMS ने आई पू फिमाते उसु तारमोक्सरी मेन ओइना आइना पुनम गेस्ट अहुमकी ओइना मसी कमन ओइबो वाफम थमजबताई मदुदी हंदक से अखोगी RIMS की ओइनादी इहान हाना थोकपा हाइबताई मदुदी फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम in the history of RIMS madudi IAS officer amabu director ona khalakpagi wafam si inong no woina ngangnarakpa mase some says it is a surprise move, some says it is a very shock act from the Ministry of Health side thai masiki ke no sing se kamain thambini haibagi common opinion sung lu jute oja ku jibena diga na ujara ke oja
issue se IAS officer of professional institution number the hitters and I will cry for some mission de magi laws, ethics, and Mayam to Kaiber Kaidabra Hibasini. And I can't over the day interim Higum Sutaway, interim arrangement high. I can't anything by RIMS the one to go what Hokam Tokre Hog, but say any whom said Director Makalan Hum Shukre, Moi Masia Namaga, understanding what in short management contract badu mai kudam ju yam ui maramajana ni style madam thok na hoji sigi phibam de live se na manak se regular director ma khan na ba soin hon nang ni government of India na siam saw institution ma da so many yam resourceful labor professors me yam senior me yam leina mayam manungi in fight haigadra yam phajadibi londa conflict labor sing si to hong khang de na marak se system matai to wo ram gani hai nai khona loba chumi aduga tasengbasu tha mari manga ahum mari manungda siguma phibam se tawragadi some kind of a normalcy return to gone khalle maram de lakadirba director he will be in charge of the whole setup of administration. He need not be a teacher, he need not be a medical specialist, aduga the subject matter specialist me am phai ni puhradani only thing he is sitting at the top level decision nogani and decisions should be unbiased yam rational labor yamna outlook saw waman bagi thojona do da sang bagi mong man da ba dom sei torkani and this is a positive step we should encourage such a move.
Thank you. Don't put the comment me
president nama set away ha no idea duga tasena hajiki post administrative job in dowa tasena professional job lying adona te adama hajiki khali bne pa masamaksu professional oini habigi garsi yam kan leram gadra thajate adu president lamoina si amasu ya amase hanaragadi tungdasu adu yakimna ama hapjalak report lakpi chance le IAS officer ma habi ai permanent helisi ka habi film lakpi ai aduna sigi sikitang careful howa natragadi interim so ermina jam kan kai den khale adu mathakta hajiki thabagasi ma surgeon oina hapjale haragadi da khoi bera thangi ma heja hero joda hai aina nadana administrator in happy haragadi private hospital me on private hospital is the management si Apollo degine kare de horokan si da business ka monitor ko ni da hagi administration si reva aduga kana hospital wada nate khuli matani press so hagi kana owner me kana wari yengan si da Manipur ho yauri aduga mapan ki press so so si owner business ki adu management hai ka mona chala ka do ni business hajikan ki business paradigm hai da management ki matam ni na other management school sing chang musu amtina luri ba ro management school tai successful in program musu tolp chang kan pi na ya company ma khanari se to kan sira ina hygienic meeting sai administrative job regadi interim jo hiring ne am kan dikai ning lai te do president no lai regadi si ta swai to hi ai and haina tung do hapchal bi admai lai regadi ko tung na kare ka do male aro ta sena khoi Manipur yenga so MU gi vice chancellor ho RIMS ki doctor no ermi matam ermina interchange administrative job in interchange so hey monda to bolam say aduga India go in training already has si posam to into has ki think tank to ba Indian Institute of Advanced Studies Shimla gi adagi Nehru Memorial Library and Museum moi sing so moi chairman sing si natra moi director sing si political appointee hoina ID hari administrative background le jaba magi haibagi so adum mayanda magi haibasi establish or kamu tasien haji profession later so academic natraga so sumasi head of ham tona chanabi to kole haja especially after BJP lakan se tegeba adum appointment political appointment hoina natraga so magi haji professional background later so management head ga hello heavy motor ina ada anoba train ne na khalaga yengbe ayeruga president oin la henbagi chanabi on henbadi pagadoma dia in terms of having marak horing and me and RIMS has pura kangkong chai don ladies and administration sida leading is hatang you in a prop in a puna bagi paragana pare atoma professional syndrome manung di amai to di phawrai khale IAS lak pesa khoina kitang chin ngai amna IAS ki si moi sidi loina mak journalist loina makta amala so hey amala so out of specializes out of adana khalega to thando khanda institution am da manager sang by si private hospital or so haji professional commit orga mana professional ma samang so hey RIMS sem ge sirada commit on my focus out na ade career si hey RIMS sem galaga RIMS chakolaga hey career oidoni hai kambu changa di commitment am yawina natana chumna gi asomda social welfare program nadragana education program something marak ma hapo haisadi my commitment to my career to gi phano tan gan sida RIMS pakala laga ai career ai sin punoi lore have put natamina my commitment full commitment ping mo se institution adugi podam le.
Okay, thank you. Pu Fimate kai opinion thamining pu.
Well, medical college amada director in IAS change have a city is very unexpected and very surprising and very sad, because medical college have a city, it is a center of learning on the art of Western medical science, and therefore quality of medical education is the main issue in a medical college. Adu gidamakta oja gidamakta sub quality jenge, merit jenge, qualification jenge, even for a professor require standard of teacher is required, especially for director. It's a very serious matter, and therefore the qualification is prescribed by Medical Council of India, and the country is very special that he, not only as an MBBS, but he should be a specialist of not less than 21 years and a professor of not less than 5 years. Haina Medical Council na prescribed tobani. Madugi rule do violate toraga a non-medical man, a non-teacher, a non-academician, oina director medical college gi director that to very prestigious institution like RIMS gi director oina non-medical, non-academician, but just an administrator like pase niyam din natabani. I think it is not only in the history of Manipur, but it is in the history of India that we are having for the first time non-medical man as a director. And this director is not only administration, but it is more of academic, because in a medical college teaching is very important, because we have to teach quality medical education. Adugidmakta director is director's main role is academic, administration is just a part of it. So therefore teaching quality, teaching method, teaching system, and then in order to improve the quality of medical education, karna workshop gumba, seminar gumba, conference gumba, sigumba jam toy na to the kalibni. For that matter, an academician in medical education is required to head the institute. For administration, it is director is not mainly administration, but because in order to help him in administration, he is having deputy director administration with a qualification of IAS or MCS officer to help him in administration. But his involvement is more on academic, like exam schedule, system of examination, and then examiner selection, and so many things of that kind. So therefore, director should be a medical man with a good background in these academic activities, academic experiences. Director oina IAS just for interim period oina thambani harasu interim period oirasu why a non-medical man? RIMS the qualified professor jam layering it up. Why not select one of them? And RIMS Manung there are so many qualified professors, national and international repute, and some of the professors in RIMS were resource person in foreign countries also, and very well experienced, very well exposed professors are there in RIMS. Why not select one of them instead of a non-medical man who is not conversant with academic aspect and then who is not conversant with this research or technical experiences? Because RIMS, after all, it is not only for MBBS, it is a super specialty institution, and super specialty courses, postgraduate courses were already started, and to man and to administer and to guide and then to hand over to handle such cases, it is a specialist is required.
Thank you, thank you. Mr. Kunjabihari, Moro Hujik Thamaiwa Lai Wapum say, in case even for an interim arrangement also, this kind of arrangement can be done from the medical kanodugi kanodri ngasagi medical person nama oibagi wafam duni laise interim arrangement oregaso ado men oina medical hujik IAS officer the medical person tu mukti natre adubu interim arrangement gini hairaga IAS officer se matam kharagi oina yabagi pibam duda opinion pibining bra natragana in case the health ministry want for a interim arrangement adu orasu adum medical person nama medical profession da leba miyo ma khanbi bada kayam kai bagi hang ibo wapum se kamai tha meaning yoda
aina sum manungi RIMS ki manungi problems ina koina mapandi ki ta bana na khabar dei ta bana na koi chodo munne ri khangudre ko nevertheless what we have seen in the paper mapandi ki koina media ri ta ri bade manung da amaga ma cooperation pe na da se superintendent num khale government of India ministry na director na parpa PB da ba delayed for a couple of months namdana tauba khotpa chendra Delhi da salaga joining report pe han ba du mai wari plus amaga yanada ba misang sang na ba katukaran tauba it is less of any medical profession, it is more of administration port leibe da katukaran tauram ba kholam ba maming matha panadra ga se khole khang na bangak tani thui ba irang mayam sina takpadi it is the requirement is not for a teacher of a super specialty class, that the requirement is not for a conference of international standard. The requirement presently is to organize the interim office arrangement system amadu porangna bukhona bani to control the deputy director, to control the finance officer, to control the heads of department in terms of not in terms of the teaching but in terms of the administration of the whole institution. Reader who are trained in the field IAS officer ma zaitra tukta tet ki experience le ba magi background plus exposure in the kind of magi field reader tongan ba field but reader adu mum tawragadi he'll be very bold, but the IAS officers they are basically bold because moi step am lobda sigi head of department how hidra senior professors how hidra have work and moi yam wali because they have a backup support my organization yam sound lai kai mana sumna tawjabada majority kangbu on mage against over there are somebody who are standing behind him who will be in supporting him also, and he'll be unbiased upon he lakuni masi amna amaga head aduga head aduga na tongari manungi inter conflict labor mayam sing to get thidona koi phangaroi, he'll be able to control, he'll be able to nap adom the yinga de yes adu sai Dr. Prematina hai but yeah there are some points to be considered. It is not only for the administration is part of that. Non-academic, non-professional, I totally agree with him also. But it is very clear, it is an interim management, maybe to stabilize the system. It is kind of in a turmoil right now, the whole administrative system. Not about the teaching, the teachers must be teaching very fast, very good. And independent oiba yam open mind gi lakada ba amana bias to banga maroi da influence to banga mana roi da ba adum ba mi ma thoraga from a fresh mind, from a positive approach, rationally decision in the next 4, 5, 6 months time, some kind of a specialization can be achieved. Dr. Fimate Manghandana. He has a point in saying that there is a need for academic tasks, which IAS officer he is so Mayamdi Loksalaga Taraga Mana assimilate to Yamna super power Malaypadu Sinaduna. He will be able to do a very unbiased kind of an approach to their system in the institution. It is not a bad thing.
Okay, thank you. Tamo, like say, Maruna Center arrangement say, which IAS officer ma, Yasaki administrator, director or Hapa is Wiki Ozakunjavan Tabri of say, the whole scenario from the last 2-3 years in the RIMS, the overall crisis say, administrative crisis ni have near the Tori arrangement, interim arrangement, Hibum Swadi sang with the Bazani temporary arrangement, Aduga crisis, administrative crisis or Beduda, IAS officer Tamagadi for a very short period like 3-4 months. Ladybug crisis say Karamakadi stabilized the work Namni Hibagi move to Manbras in it.
The Sena, we normal circumstances are Goma, is possible. Abnormal circumstances later. Says a RIMS director out in Queen Later. Aduga, I had the directly out of college in Pasantalari, or Zami under Hayuatani, Patamoni, Takado, Taroni. Swedish administration is precise. Director, we're going to see the Maggie roles, any sorry, my leader of academic session is over. Administration man leader. A Soctor easy administration, administration Soctor Gimo. I didn't controversy much. I'm that way, but my power hierarchy, Kaita Eva, some lap in the sea. I don't straighten out of Wigi or in a Pusalapo regadi. I assume with a queen of my together. Presence of Lakimo, a way handing administration yard to cancel only to Toxiana, presence of Lagat or Wimond. I don't see Mok or Magadi, Tasina, authorities on the Yakan so high the Ruga, Simok or Magadi, Aki, Jumtonabagi, overall extraordinary circumstance later, an extraordinary measure of Loxiana, Anova, fielding me and Pusalapo, administrator and Pusalapo regadi. As Hagi, governor rule gi, example Lorga, my governor and council them same guys, Magi. Man hate our subject me to surgery, medicine give me my council to Hapolo, administration, Asongi academic administration, Ploptominarani, Adoga, my physical administration, my Atopum methodum Sinagolore. I might Topum Topan Kaleruga. Hazilla is the extraordinary circumstance. RIMS later has somebody man was in a way controversy. Quire, Nana was here when he was director later was later, laying a sort of controversy was down in the I don't see me. I'm some correct one Changa Brankly. It's all institutional later. Get away down to Spina Sota and Dorino Hypose. See on some topi or regadi high interim. But yeah, pay Yana Ganoman who RIMS who smiley capable of Miyama. Capable as a hybrid Hiregas who leader of Habismana, Milo Yabam Sangi, the Milo impartial in Ubi, section Krimore impartial in Uhanbagi. I know department Kalokada, my department got a colony of Hierarchy, Hierarchy, tension lane, I don't have to translate. So may have called the word of say. I do Eragati, as I had a measurements Loraga, precaution mams Loraga. I did Pabranka Litasena, Matamomi, Bagidi. Aduga Manungi, Adumatak to Su, Lesson Moina, away, Yam Quina, Comaito, and I am to a controversy Helino. I am to a Atoba, settled over later, later get a extraordinary measure of low down, happy lesson Moina, so Karakana, Hodranka Lane, Tasina, Harrigan, I am the Draconan Bidway, when I had posted RIMS on the Kandana, Atomic Kalak by Sikatan, senior doctor Lemian, insulting where Jarmony. Yorgasu has kisi interim measure ni queen permanent or simatam administration have come with administration side from settled okay. Aduga academic administration do not hagi hand so directly out of home since the serina. As how we music comes music is a symphony home consider Kalam Haina, we practice of Manapuni, conductor out of Masan, Kunjabihari, symphony Komagam with Moim Salo Halazna. Ariposi teaching after later, Masasa Haber. मैं तो थोड़ी जन ताकत बनी administration नॉमदा financial involvement लाभ हम ज़रा कराए कर invest हो रही है कराए कर इतादे लगे हैं बिखा सही से तक settle तो वही हो रहा है कि ये भी आप experiment नहीं खाले
Okay, RIMS went for more than 1 month adu ordi sigi administrative ngasai gi akhoi gi kai tare crisis se IAS officer ama director on hapakanda interim arrangement on silamakanda masigi crisis se stabilize tobu yabugi film amakak labor haibadu yengba manbagi opom dini tamon tabirese thank you
ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛꯀꯤ ꯊꯥ ꯃꯔꯤ ꯃꯉꯥ ꯃꯉꯥ ꯇꯔꯨꯛ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯁꯨꯀꯣ ꯇꯁꯦꯡꯕꯗꯤ ꯑꯃꯣꯠꯄ ꯁꯦꯡꯗꯣꯛꯁꯦꯕꯅꯦꯕ ꯗꯦꯔ ꯏꯖ ꯑ ꯀꯥꯏꯟ ꯑꯣꯐ ꯔꯕꯤꯁ ꯗꯦꯔ ꯏꯖ ꯑ ꯀꯥꯏꯟ ꯑꯣꯐ ꯂꯣꯠ ꯑꯣꯐ ꯔꯤꯐ꯭ꯌꯨꯖ ꯂꯩꯔꯦ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯊꯣꯏꯗꯣꯛꯅ ꯃꯗꯨꯅ ꯇꯤꯆꯤꯡꯒꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯗ ꯆꯪꯉꯨꯗ꯭ꯔꯒꯁꯨ ꯃꯥꯡꯉꯤꯕ ꯃꯔꯨꯑꯣꯏꯅ ꯐꯥꯏꯅꯥꯟꯁꯤꯌꯦꯜ ꯀꯩꯅꯣ ꯏꯔꯤꯒꯨꯂꯔꯤꯇꯤꯁꯒꯤ ꯃꯌꯥꯝ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯋꯥꯔꯤ ꯇꯥꯟꯅꯔꯤꯁꯤꯅꯤ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯁꯦꯡꯗꯣꯛꯅꯕ ꯍꯣꯠꯅꯕꯗ ꯑꯃꯣꯠꯄ ꯁꯦꯡꯗꯣꯛꯄꯗꯗꯤ ꯑꯥꯏ ꯊꯤꯡ ꯗꯤ ꯁꯤꯚꯤꯜ ꯁꯥꯔꯚꯦꯟꯁ ꯑꯥꯔ ꯚꯦꯔꯤ ꯒꯨꯗ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯑꯗꯣꯝꯗ ꯌꯦꯡꯉꯒꯗꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯋꯤ ꯀꯦꯟ ꯂꯨꯛ ꯏꯠ ꯄꯣꯖꯤꯇꯤꯚꯂꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ
Okay, thank you. Fimate, I will come back to after the break. Commercial break and we matung da impact news ki manung hun ayang bira puna mangki phamda tuna puduna laksake impact news miyang ta duna lebi. Break ki matung da ayang bira puna mangpu amuk kana taram noksari. Fimate, do you admit that the RIMS is facing severe administrative crisis from the last more than 3 years?
I don't deny, but it is not that severe that can be despaired of. Still, the internal qualified persons, if properly utilized, can solve and can make it better. Crisis, I would say, director ani humgumba tested and then failure hirasu. There are still so many who are not yet tested. I don't know, crisis, internal fighting, internal problem oibagi IAS officer interim period gidamakta thame haibase edi janing daba amale maramdi internal problems institution kaya le mo hojik kan se so many in any institution there are internal problems madu solve to naba the instead of bringing IAS officer niyom kaidabida solve to zadra a qualified person, qualified professor for a director. Madu tobu zadra. Now, RIMS na constitution by law da preventive measure karno arrangement phajana thame deputy director post ama create tawe. Madu gi post to IAS officer gi post ni or MCS officer post ni. Madu deputy director administration da IAS officer huzik ki IAS officer si deputy director oina thamaga RIMS professor, senior professor, or director, Thamagati, Karikaige. I think the same problem. I mean, it can solve all the problems. Director do professor oiraga, deputy director do IAS oiraga. Moi ani na phajana solve to buzaba kano constitution by law lai bane. Huzik deputy director thamda bikwane. Aduga asigi IAS ama director oina laaga problem loy namak solve to gudi ibasi guarantee to ngamgadra because the same problem can continue, the same internal problem also can continue. Aduna it may not be the final solution, and therefore Dr. NB Singh su Dr. Nina Vice Chancellor oibajai haibdo I think not because he is a medical man but because of his academic career, because of academic background, he is appointed as Vice Chancellor. For Vice Chancellor, it is academic performance or academic career is mostly selected. Either a medical man or engineer or anybody who is having a good academic career is eligible for Vice Chancellor. But here in a medical college is to be headed by a medical man. Say for example, surgery department ki head of department oina engineer ama thamba jaroi. Similarly, medical college ki director oina a non-medical man, a non-teacher, a non-academic man. Haiba thamba sidi hayeng karno problem lakadra MCI recognition su problem lakadra or teaching and then academic performance su problem lakadra su we have an apprehension. So therefore, niyom kaidabida director si qualified person in the interest of the institute thambana phabrai na kalle.
Okay, thank you. So Kunjabihari, hojik maruina tholei se MCI gi given rules su tasengna madu violate tawtabida silamagadi madu yam hena pharamgadabni haibi wafam ma and plus
no guarantee can be given by anyone that IAS officer as a director on head torgadi the whole administrative system say hekta correction toroni habagi guarantee to su kanamta pibangamdri men on MCI gi rule dabudi adum phajana haidi I no IAS officer is eligible to hold the post of director of a medical institute MCI gi rule gi matungina maduki rule khara de dum overrun toba kaiba thugai bagi phimam de dum lei swai de yeng kan de oja kamaina reply to winning.
No, certainly it is not in terms of the statutory rules. IAS officers among the perhaps I don't know. There may be a saving clause somewhere down below. In the event of such and such thing, can it be imposed now? That we don't know. But Government of India Ministry of Health ki wisdom ki makhada after considering all these pros and cons. For the last 5-6 years, there's such a big central institute is without a head. Manung dasu yam na conflict ita basu nati kuna chai pe panjagi ba superintendent hapasu sangan daba kholan daba things like that manung ram haina lerang ne khana udaba adu mayamam leiri banina marakti ki professor am hapselu ba basi perhaps it may lead to the same problem which happened in the past 5 months 6 months 1 year. Dr. Fimate na pangiba there is an IAS officer post deputy director or joint director baharso additional director baharso he is not a director. Na director duna kitang sigi financial discipline gi natraga mama sigi maram da kitang kana thawai yaubi ba kara particular ubi ba natraga di deputy director is easily overruled by the director. He may be an IAS or otherwise mataki di head nina maram na upai kisu lai roi dunga sagi ama apprehension ama mana ko not all IAS officers are good that we agree then mak pabanati then mak there are so many stories about IAS officers not functioning properly. Adubu, hujiki sirihide hujiki matang insurance sirihide dimon hari it is for a specified period and largely to streamline the system which is not working. And the siguma mot pasang do pa insha yam sam phajari bi lon da harga. Je ku ying sina BCCI in India ge am chawba internationally sia mami chaliba Board of Cricket Control of India for so many months for so many years even at the intervention of Supreme Court ngam dadana singop ngam dadana leibadigi Lora committee happy in bidre they play so many do to finally IAS officer retired Mahapsel Lemoina Binod Rai on the CAG Mana he is the head, he is the chairman of the organization. Largely he does not have an ABC of cricket administration. Largely because of his yamna seeing lakpa streamlined to lakpa magi knowledge plus to IAS wizaragasu accountant general of India wizaragasu cricket today he is allowed to sit and supervise the whole thing implement one of the ningsang by lingdo and election commissioner where Meghalaya IAS officer he is assigned with so many other posts so many IAS officers are generally known as egoistic I know all kind of attitude legally they are taken as obstructionists also the obstructionist are not because he wants to obstruct but because he wants to know more about the things yet na khona taraga adu mai mong de yengagadi I think it is a positive step but I kona don't masa mami panraga so happy be incumbency in the last 15-17 years of his work magi reputation leijai na government diana after seeking nominations from panels from government of Manipur maming manga tara tharam gani siguma siguma officer hedra adu manungda he has been picked by the Ministry of Health adana let us hope that this works and the wisdom of government of India plus government of Manipur some central government they will be certainly looking for a suitable person a professor or eligible person under MCI guidelines. This is the best kind of a thing in a professor surgery medicine the same in fight in conflict because they know each other much more better than any other respect what by hand but what and a new man has come. He may be very young but because of his vast experience in certain fields Mani yam neutral loiba yam open minded loiba amana amagi misang changba yadaba adi matakta mon matam kharagi piri ni he is being tested I will wakalam su leina taraga you will perhaps provide his best I don't know hopefully it may be a success.
Tang Pradeep ngasai ki tamo thamdi thambi gre maduri administrative crisis si yam kuina lerak paduda madugi certain measure mo paikhalak pagi sumung di male haibagi potuma adugi ofam du ton thamur kan damo the whole ngasai ki health ministry of health aduga and family kano si welfare moi su khang di khang ni madudi MCI gi rule si tamo moi khang du torom dong mandi haijeri moi nen khang moni aduga MCI gi rule si lei leina si su lei di khang ba aduga moi arrangement tok lei si atopa alternative ways am later manbra tamo natraga alternative option am later man alternative option se am later bagi film dra torok manbra natraga sarkar hata pairi akoina dum to bodo dum yani hai film dum manbra tamo coin tamini
see say I MCI rule phada padri ko thina na clause an puthore clause ma khara ke gele ati sub clause ri yaram se ta sena emergency settle document yadra ga di ato measure lo yai ga hai le yaram se adu akoi udrami khangdre ko adu ga sai gi Kalau saya hanya kita kita supplement orang dah IAS Officer ama the Deputy Director in Thamba kau pahisi institution am dah sih posisi layang muda yang kali kan sih haji close ya. Itu na administrator ama Deputy in Thamba. Aina fellow in layang ba Indian Institute of Advanced Studies. Sira su adu su tahu ya tapi director sana academic am layar haji point teruk ba academic oin hande miem layar kerana. Haji fellowship segi aduga academic administration hai bani pam lerna ade he makha secretary se IAS officer ki post neba se makha ne hai tare adu man makha ne skai hai IAS ki ego hai se adu ken last out deba my secretary la aina chahiye ni lerna because shimla sida chahiye ni sida secretary ani sel leba IAS officer la kani dige hada director yana roi noni le chakhni tham ni le chakhni vacant hang nam lerni moi kanano na amas mahus selective hoy na library na gran pas hapsa laga mai kana the responsible bolani khara laga mo laga ni adum chakhi hete ya deba tinna bisma ya deba es kisu moi ego om lady ta se na moi na ko ni moi na top service the top moi na top of the service in India gi service ki hierarchy se moi top ni ka heavy le jaba moi mi makha le ro ka heavy am le dra adum por ego om le ego du yaning ba yaning wan na da bida tinna ya da bagi ponam de le se saba makha dai thamu kan da kuin game chalo kala ga chakini corporate oi corporate ko samana hai do direct learning ka ni direct electric ta khana ka ni adu posima ga no talk le pon ta ni adu ga ngasai gi haji ki anau bla live train se amaron hai ga di Dr. Fimate hai ji yaning da se na akoi president ma tham ga di esi ya bani Manipur sto gre ga na so negrim sto ji matang torpui president hek set to kyan torpui la chance am le adu haji ji ta se na hai ga di haji ka gi Nehru Memorial Library gi hairone magi director si haji ka mi ga gi hane gi ga no habjale diplomat am habjale diplomat retired diplomat hape phata wan sona te moi rule gai ba kai da gi pot le na ga moi hane yaram board director yaram mi ga resign to na da masak khang ba academy am resign to na ga tawri na smai ta gi train on live se train sim dangerous right khali ta se na institute khima IAS loi hai da tra IAS loi ran to hon be mom la ga dai khali da la ga di yam dangerous oi khali adu bu haji ki interim harim na interim se high crisis am le do crisis to kai to manage to sige crisis se kamai to na mutang normal ta hanji ke hebe mom oi ra ga di yeng bi ai hebe hai wa na do ga ta se na si train on han bi phate hai je ai su ta se na Dr. Fimate hai sma yaning e so train on la khra ga di ngasai gi mingon su kitang chang ta han bi doctor myam professor myam senior myam sing si moi gi degree so po lai amai tha jala ga akhoi ji manage to do ni ga hebe mon da the whole lagadi moi su degree so ina adu su institute go ina kuina sang le ra ga di pharoi ta se na noi ningam da na khoi na angang ja do na akhoi warak pa lai ni ga hebe mon do ra ga di ba adu na haji ki budi crisis chom le re kuina director le director anu to half se na haina le re half manu su half ri yad half ya actress manu da tension friction le na bodona ni oi ra moni su khale yana ma sen ama hawke to ama ya da ama hawke to ama ya da le na bodona mun khale adu myam si director queen sang le top kan si ta kai thara ko myam do kitang kan na bi da ha pok na emergency measure mo ngai hai ba interconnect measure mo na sum ye presence lu lak pa mai na presence la ga hang tha mani queen tham ya da bi da tha mani thamaga o mari thamaga si yabri yen si yadra na to pam yen si hai bi mo ngoi ram dra khale na ai kan ba
thank you Pu Fimate such arrangement cannot be continue for a long time in the future that everybody feel. But the question is, in case the arrangements is a for a very short period, and just to make a this urgent need of the hour, like just to correct the administrative this failure of the RIMS. Are you going to agree the arrangement made by the central government?
I feel this interim arrangement, as I said earlier, should be done without disturbing the norms. That this interim arrangement, IAS officer, instead of being sent as a director, he can be sent as deputy director, and then director should be qualified as prescribed by the MCI norms. Then the problem will be solved, I believe. And we are talking of this problem, internal problem, crisis, all these crises. I think there, almost every institution there are crises, but the solution is, I believe, if it occurs in AIMS, this kind of thing may not be arranged. If there is a crisis in AIMS, they will never send IAS officer to be a director. And I think I won't like to send wisdom of the central government. I would like to say a stepmotherly treatment of the central government, negligence of central government, that why a regular director is not appointed. It is in their hands. They could have appointed. And then why this interim, for some time, it is headless, without head, without director, without deputy director, and that also they should have taken care of. Central government, if they take care of, if they give proper attention, it can easily be solved. And all these problems we are having is basically because central government is not giving too much of attention to us. And so therefore, and you know, in AIMS, the deputy director is an IAS officer. One Manipur cadre IAS officer was also there as a deputy director in AIMS. And the same thing can happen here also. One IAS officer can come as a deputy director, and the director should be as prescribed by the Medical Council of India. And otherwise, we may face the recognition problem, we may face this academic problem, and so many problems can come up because of this.
Tamo Pradeep, aina tamo da laksan ni maruina. In case ngasai gi central khoi gi maruina government of India gi ngasai health ministry gi side gi tholai ba my decision say taseng na gross violation of MCI gi rules ul oiba taragadi yam thuna MCI tamo intervene tawne na khanbi bra natragana MCI na tumin legragadi tamo kari phawbin.
Adre hainga morai MCI kari opinion legre hadri hajik ka tasena hajik haine ismaina rule kai bo ramadi sir court challenge to na busiono ka dran khali tasena ai rule sei ai na padri me na close amdang hajik panare ko sira close mission lawyer bra sub close har ba he khang dem ai so kana opinion pi ngamra duga tasena maki rule thwaira to wore ga court so challenge to na ka dran khali court challenge to ga rule thwaira ga masana no thok jagi ne.
Okay. Main oina tamo oja Kunjabihari election ning buse maru oina hujiki ngasai gi tawbudi ngasi kaktang ngai su study tawbani the whole rule and regulation ngasai gi given by the MCIC adum namuk loi pa padi ngam damina. Yes, central government na silaiba arrangement su sub clauses piriba mayam dugi karigumba semba yaba khara di adum moida su lerang udran kali all of sudden natragana intention ama kalona heta rules to na buk thugai ragi den khan bada moisu Sakar mo pai mina mayama ngang ka do le banina madoi do khang bada kharadi arrangement khara na khang ban ne ba kharati so le rang modong wale adubu as a whole Manipur ki context khaktan tabida mapu yengkan dadi say 2000 kano da 2001 da so Haryana gi khoi gi moi su kano ne Haryana gi si postgraduate institute of medical sciences Haryana da so ngasai gi IAS officer amana IAS officer mo director na habso logi crisis ni matam du so tasengna matam du gi Anita Chaudhuri Harisi ngasai ki Rohtak division gi commissioner na pubne ado ma se director na hapsaluba ado matam du da MCIC yam immediately intervene tawi aduga moina tawbudi ngasai ki husiki hairiba institute budi state ki makhada state Haryana state ki makhada lejabani ado khudakta MCI gi instruction du gi matungina state government su act tawi haijariba siguma mayam singi yenguba and plus RIMS ki kari haitare RIMS ki leire iba prolong RIMS ki record hai tai some hare kan the interim arrangement say this is only for the period of 6 months I say adum di hai ba adu also 6 months hen basu dum yaw ba adagi interim director hapakan the interim director mabu interim director amana so mo siloba yada ba sing khar de dum thoi swai da oja kunjubai thamjaning ba se kitang step model treatment ama tawi hai ba se oja da feel to bra kamai thamining
I did to step moderately Dr. Fimate na high but Hoi Manipur is a whole is treated as step mother I go in a common norm near the but you can see that they some laptang there is a need for immediate streamlining the system in the RIMS Institute. It is not for teaching, it's largely for the administration. Administration amounts to financial irregularities. But these things are running very hot now. amada hapaga kanano lady professor amanda director wele atupa no yadi amada sara delhi desta no sale sigumagi sing adum tai and there is a need for immediate streamlining the whole system. Perhaps it may not last even 6 months. Ano win campaigns ina mana kitang is expected impartiality amaga loina with Jill and kano yauna hariju he'll be getting support from his senior officers. Health ki khangde chief secretary khangde all inputs will come to him and he will be seeking all advices. It is not his single solitary brand. Madam the issues so particularly public outcry to lay have a Dr. Pimatina Harris Mataduni, who usually perhaps the Mahan Sulain Tatirmani. MCI intervened to who's both or 3 head I quite tie. The Torok perhaps central government MCI explained perhaps there is a saving clause somewhere in the event of such and such thing, a contingency arrangement can be met not for a dupa but for a specified period. Haramaya in a calico. Do Adubo Malay number, not the central government city Ingo now, Ziki Moidi, you can allow in our government is very transparent, you have transparent system, Malay Ministry, the Kanamti do that way Adrian and lady, Matamsi data. You may have not so institution, I'm going to select privacy. Perhaps MCI must be taken into account, into confidence. Advice ministry state government Haryana Rotaki state government to and I need to Sasana Dana Sidata Sona Torokani in the Kalera. If there is a financial irregularity, administrative exigencies, Sona my streamline to Bongam Itaze. Dr. Pimatina Haribas, we endorse his problem. Manung dito ko yadra na professor may amdi amaga to dona cooperation to we mong liu di hajeri be koina professor knows because he was the head of the and man head sulo in kang manina do koina ubu de there is a kind of a marak amaga amaga thajena da cooperation pina da adu magi group siam bagi mong in ubanina some kind of a via media is adopted by government adu maina ina ujei.
Okay, thank you. Fimate, just leaving aside all the rules and guidelines of the MCI and all these things, even MCI can intervene in the future very immediately also. Whenever this appointment of director in the RIMS is coming up, the crisis is always there. According to you, why it is so?
I don't know. I beg to differ with you. At the time of my appointment, there was never a crisis. Today there was interview, tomorrow the result came. 2010 again.
7 years now, there is enough time.
Anyway, there is no crisis, I also agree.
And you're talking of some clause in MCI for interim, I mean some interim or something. I was a MCI member for about 5 years and I was in the ethical committee also. I know very clearly that there is no any clause regarding qualification for director. It is strictly 5 years as a professor minimum and 21 years after PG. And this is the criteria. No other clause. No any other thing. This is very
so as a whole, a non-medical persons cannot be appointed as a director of a medical institute, have
as per MCI,
yes,
there is nothing like that.
Thank you. Oja Kunjabihari, Taung Pradeep, aduga Fimate, nasi matam sana lakpuwa lona impact news ki khana ne basi mapun phang bi tang ta aina lorak pada guest home pu amuga na thagachari. ngasigidamakta impact news ki manung hunna matang ase losinjanabagi tanjai role adu bolamdam se tholiba thodu wa thok kya gi marik chumba report ki damak impact news miyeng ta dun leibu